30 minutes ago. Oh shit, can you take that out?
Stop doing that and switch over to stuffing.
It's been 20 minutes. Hey, what do you know? Can you give it a wiggle? 5 more minutes, and then we can take that out. Okay.
Why are you still doing that if you need stuffing?
Because I said that I would do this.
You're going to start breaking those up?
Yeah, can you get out the food processor? That was a great idea, hon. Thanks. It's a professional oven. It's a double oven. I paid half price for it because I found it at a scratch and dent. And our refrigerator too, yeah. And I love it 100% and will never, ever, ever go back. Ever. Okay, so now what I want to do is 2 egg yolks and 2 egg yolks and 2 eggs. And I am going to use this bowl again for the tempering. The way that I do 2 egg yolks and 2 eggs is just figure out which one, like I'll start it as if I'm going to have a perfect yolk that's not going to get cut. And then invariably at least one will break or the shell will be like cracked really weird. Yeah, what do you know? 1 egg yolk. Yeah. I need the trash. Thank you. The kid bowls, I love these bowls, like way too much. I use them for everything.
I clean an average of 5 a night.
You do. Come on.
So what am I doing?
Right now, you're such a streamer. So Lep is breaking up a bunch of white bread that I left out. In theory, for 2 days to get really crusted. I put it in the oven last night because I forgot to do it. So yeah, that's good. You're far enough away that that's not going to be a problem for the mic, right?
No, here it is. Pulse.
Or you can just put it on. It doesn't matter. You can pulse it. If it makes you feel like you have more control, you can pulse it.
All right, pulverizing it. How small are we making it?
Yeah, I need like breadcrumb size.
Like powder.
Close to powder, yes. Carrie sponsored by KitchenAid. Honestly, I should be.
That's not loud.
Yeah, I know. That's why. Do you want me to turn off the mic?
Can we walk away?
No, you don't have to, but I can turn off the mic. You want me to walk away?
No, I'll walk away. You keep cooking.
But how are you going to walk away from that?
Because I'll just
unplug it and bring it across the room over there on the table. Stale bread. Yeah, I do like a mixture that's like half stale bread and half of the Petbridge Farm stuffing mix, just because they season their breadcrumbs with basically the flavors that I want to use, so that I don't need to use quite as much fresh. I don't need to buy as much fresh and spend as much money on fresh as I would if I were doing it any other way. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to temper. And I am going to put a little bit of hot into cold. And I'm going to constantly whisk as I'm going. Because we don't want these to cook. And I know it looks gross, but I promise it's worth it. And then this is going to get added back in to the main bowl, or actually into a pot on the stovetop. And then I'm going to cook this at a low temperature until it thickens. But I honestly may leave this off to the side and come back to it.
Powder some of it.
Okay.
Break the rest.
Maybe you could use less.
Don't you want consistently like 1 centimeter squares, cubes? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I usually do it with my hands and regret it, to be honest. Because then I can break it up in the appropriate size and I can like feel my way through it.
Yeah, let me do that.
But it's gonna hurt your hands. I mean, it'll destroy your hands.
Yeah, this is powder.
Yeah, I can. Remember, I have the other stuffing like mix too, which is like sized appropriately, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, like it's nicer if they're just like crumbly, like pea-sized pieces. Okay, that's fine. It might have just been overstuffed too, so like it couldn't move around in the food processor as much as it needed to. The gobble gobble shirt you need, it's so good, right? I don't know where I found it. Probably on Amazon, to be honest, because like, yeah, let's face it. How tall is leopard? That's the 5th time I've seen that today. I am keeping count. And I did say this needed to come out, didn't I?
Why does no one say how short his hair is? You know?
Yep. I don't trust this. So the recipe says 10 minutes. It's been in for 25.
Oof.
But I do that on purpose. So basically, I'm gonna say this from everything that I've read and the handful of times that I've made key lime pie. I'll show you guys. Let's move it with like I'm sure that looks absolutely ridiculous. Let me show you kind of what I've come to think of as
the
like
right wiggle.
what it's supposed to look like. So you'll notice like this is like super loose in the center. I don't know if you can see that. Is it too light? Is it too bright? Do you want me to move it over here where it's not as bright? You're always used to seeing him sit down, I know. Whoa. Can you see that at all? So basically what I'm looking for is about an inch from the crust doesn't wiggle and is set. And then you get wiggle in the rest of it. But it basically needs to have like an almost set looking top. And then the rest of it is just gonna like, it'll set in the refrigerator. Like I just need the custard to kind of come to temperature, and then as it rests and there's a little bit of carryover cooking and all that kind of stuff, it will finish itself off. Okay? So basically, like I said, what you want is you want the just around the crust, maybe like 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch to be like set. And then the rest of it is kind of is like loose, kind of going out from there in like a radial situation. Because if you overcook it, it'll get spongy and it won't be creamy. And you don't want to do that. Okay. I'm going to come back to this. You can in a second, sweetheart. So this is not fully done. This has the eggs. It has the butter. I'm super behind on the stuffing. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I'm not going to leave it out for